She went away on Christmas Day, didn't come back till New Year. He thought everything had changed.
This year has slipped by so fast. I feel like we just blinked and all of a sudden, another year has passed. For a lot of us, 2024 has come with huge life changes, some really hard ones, some really exciting ones, and some things that have just felt a part of mundane life. But as the year comes to an end and we look forward to a new year, despite what has happened, it's refreshing to feel a hopeful sense of being able to start fresh. It's refreshing to set new goals, make a vision board, declutter, reset, and reflect on the year that has been. I love this time of year, and I hope you enjoy coming along with me as I reset for 2025. Here's everything I do to prepare for a new year and to set realistic and sustainable goals that actually help motivate me to keep growing.
Tropical storm, Helene.
Hi lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Today is the 30th of December 2024. It's the second last day of the year. Therefore, let's make the most of it. Let's reset and get ready for the new year. But first, let's make a matcha.
Before we officially start the whole reset, I think it's important to grab your to-do list and to make a list of things that you want to do to help you reset for the new year. So for me, the things that I wanted to do was reflect on 2024. I wanted to set new goals for 2025 and intentions as well. And then I also wanted to make a Pinterest and mood board, make a 2025 bingo card, and then lastly, declutter.
I guess the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to reflect on 2024. And honestly, 2024 has been really busy and just a lot has happened that it's really hard for me to start somewhere. I don't really know where to start. It's been hectic, especially in November and December, where I've been on placement and I feel like I've lost my sense of grounding. It made me kind of think that the whole year was like November and December, and that was hard because I was like, have I really lost complete motivation and routine and everything that I worked so hard to set for the first half of this year? But then I was reflecting a little bit last week and started remembering I actually have done so much, and a lot of good things as well as hard things have happened, but this second half of the year hasn't defined my whole year. I'm going to reflect on it by looking at the goals that I set at the start of this year, seeing how I went with them, and also just the goals that I've set for the different months throughout the year. I completely lost track in November and December, so I feel like that's not really something that I'm going to be focusing on too much, but I'm going to look at all the ones that I have set for the past year, and then also just start filling in like all the achievements that I've also had that I haven't had a chance to be able to acknowledge. So let's start off with that. I'm grabbing out my 2024 diary for pretty much the last time, so let's reflect using this first. The last time I even opened my diary was in October, trying to set these goals, so I guess I haven't been really intentional about it, but that's okay. Let's start from the very beginning.
I find reflecting on the year sometimes difficult because where the heck do you start? But here's what I found helpful. First, write a list of things that you are thankful for and or proud of. These can be accomplishments or milestones, but write them all down no matter how big or small. Then write a list of things you found challenging this year, and after that write a list of things you want to work on moving into the new year, and then lastly write a list of things that you can look forward to in 2025. As I look back through my 2024 diary and at all the things that have happened, I was struck by the way God had been working through me and the people around me this year. I've struggled a lot with making time to prioritize Jesus, reading my Bible and prayer, that I felt like I couldn't see God work. But reflecting on this year, I've actually seen in hindsight that God has really been working all along, and I don't need to doubt that ever. He's grown me a lot this year, and I'm really proud and thankful for many things. God has given me a lot of peace and thankfulness this year for the relationships that I have and also for my independence. I got a car, visited Melbourne, reached 1,000 subscribers, and I literally can't be more thankful to you all for that. I read a few books in the Bible and different books as well, finished my first teaching placement, studied hard, and amongst other things. So no matter what accomplishments, know that you have grown and that God is sovereign and working for your good and for His glory.
Okay, we are unboxing my new diary planner for 2025. It is so pretty. This is from Kiki K. I got this for my birthday from some lovely friends, but let's unbox and let's have a look. Alright, very floral, summery vibes for 2025, and I love it. 2025. It opens up with a full calendar, as well as one where you can write important dates and stuff. But this is what I usually use. At the start of this diary, each month has a full calendar, and on the side here is where I like to plan out my intentions and goals for each month, as well as recording all my achievements for each month, which is also what I look to reset and just reflect on the year that has been. So that's February, and then after that it starts going into the actual weekly calendars. So this is what I use later on to also plan out each week and the days that I might have to do and the tasks that I have to do for each week. I used to bullet journal and I really enjoyed it, but it just took too much time. So now all of this is set up for me and I can decorate it however I want to. At the back of the diary they have all these stickers and stuff that you can use to decorate, which I really love. It's very cute. So all of these. But that's a little tour of the diary so far. Let's start writing in it and let's start planning my goals for the new year.
So I am just out here on my porch and I thought it'd be just nice to change my scenery so I can just do some journaling. I did write my 2025 goals, so I set off my intentions first, kind of just things that I wanted to focus on for the year. I am also subject to all of these changing. Things change in a year, but they also change in a day. I think the biggest intention that I want to set, sorry, it's really sunny right now, so I'm squinting a lot. Try to get outside of my comfort zone. I think about like even my YouTube, and when I'm filming outside I get really camera shy a lot and I really don't like setting up the camera and doing all these things in the public. But then also when I look back I'm like, oh, these are those shots when I took risks. They're actually one of my favorite ones, and who cares? Like, no one actually cares. And so I feel like this isn't really for other people, but it's for me just to build more confidence in not only my YouTube but also other aspects of my life. So I do want to try to have that as my intention for the year. I also really want to work on establishing better routine, prioritizing balance. I feel like because the last 2 months of this year have been really rough, and trying to get more disciplined, but also being able to take on what I've done this year, which is a lot of just going with the flow and not beating myself up for not doing everything that I planned. So trying to strike that balance this time now. The next 2 things I did were write down some intangible and also tangible goals. I saw this from one of the people that I follow called Vanessa, and I thought that was such a cool idea. What I've written down for intangible goals: prioritizing reading my Bible and praying more. Some things like that, it's hard to measure that. I could measure it, but I feel like that's not really the point. It's actually helpful being like, oh, these are goals that I can decide whether or not I feel like I've done that or I've grown in that aspect. I've set down some of those intangible goals. Some other ones I've got are like getting outside my comfort zone,
developing more of a consistent sleep schedule, which I feel like I don't really want to measure because every day and every week is always different. For tangible goals, I do want to set a goal of like trying to get monetized next year. It's quite a, I don't know, maybe we might make it, hopefully, but it's something I feel like I could work on. So I've set that as a goal, but I'm also okay if I don't reach it. It's not the end of the world, but I do want to work hard for that. I've got a Europe trip planned next year, which I'm really excited about. I'm also going to Melbourne again in a few days. Something I've also been doing is I have been reading a lot more this year, and so I set a goal. I want to read 5 new books next year, and then a big milestone for me is next year I am starting a new job. I'm going to be an intern at a school, and I'm going to be doing that until I graduate next year, which is wild. I have 1 more year of uni, and I feel like next year's kind of wrapping a lot of things up, heading and moving into a new stage of life, which is daunting but also very exciting. I'm going to now stick this into my 2025 journal planner, and then let's head back inside.
These books over Christmas, which I'm really excited to start. That's the first book that I've already started reading. I'm only a chapter in, but so far I'm excited. I heard a lot about this on TikTok, and it's also very pretty, this cover. It's not as good writing as the previous series I just read. I love this book so much, and I did end up reading the second book to this geology, so I haven't got the paperback for it, but I might get it later on because I definitely will be reading this again. Once I get through these 2 books, and also the 3rd book to the series is coming out in January. So once I get through all of these, that's already 3 out of the 5 books that I want to tick off reading. I also just rearranged my bookshelf a little bit because it was a bit messy, and there were a lot. I couldn't fit these books, and they're so thick compared to what I normally read. You can literally see that most of my books are like very thin, but I rearranged them. I've got all my Christian books here. From here onwards, I've got like some classics like the Odysseys there, and then these are like my Japanese books. But I feel like I've just been on a very big fantasy vibe so far, so I want to continue that. I'm going to spend the rest of the night just doing some self-care. I want to edit this vlog for you all so I can post it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to meet up with Alexa, and we're going to go to a cafe in the morning for some coffee, and I want to just journal. I want to plan out the month of January and fill in some things, like things I know that are going to happen next year. Into my 2025 planner, and then I also really want to make a Pinterest mood board. Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to a new day. I have just parked and I'm meeting Alexa. We're going to this cafe in North Sydney called 88, and we're gonna just get a coffee and plan. I want to just make my mood board. I want to add some more specific things about like health and fitness. I realize that's actually something that I do want to kind of prioritize a little bit more and be more intentional about. So I think one of the goals I want to do is get back into Pilates, or then let's get a coffee and let's see Alexa. Look at her, it's studious. Twitch design. Sneaky.
I see the leaves are falling, the color of the trees reminds me of the sun.
What I'm doing is I'm going to start making my diaries, and I'm going to start with filling in things that are going to be happening in January and other things in my monthly calendar.
It fills me with a feeling that makes me wonder why. See you now.
What did you get, Lexa? I got the BLs this morning. I got a mocha and I got a cat. And that's it.
I can't remember why again.
We are changing locations. It's been an hour. We pretty much just had coffee and ate some food, so we're gonna go to another cafe and just actually lock in and start making our stuff. I did write some things for January and a bit of February, but I might mark all my placements and everything for next year. So let's drive. We're gonna go to another suburb.
You're happy, that's what matters. I just wish it could have lasted. See it now and I think of then and all the things that we could have been. You made me smile and stay a while. I can't remember.
I've just collected all the photos that I've got. There's so many, so I need to split them up so I can get this little. And then I want to put this and save it as my album wallpaper.
And I was never meant to find happiness. I was simply lost in the thrill of this. The fun we had with
Okay, so this is my final Pinterest board. Let me give you a bit of a tour. So I've got different quotes. A lot of this next year I really want to be focusing on trusting Jesus through everything. But I also have a quote here for my teacher era because it's really kind of becoming a reality now. So let's start at the top. I've got kind of like the things that I really want to be focusing on. I've got self-care and travel in this corner. And then I've got some more self-care, but also a lot of reading and reading the Bible specifically, and also praying. Down in the middle, we've got a bit more self-care, but also moving into more of my routines, as well as summer, Europe summer next year. Down here, it's more about like focusing on studying, working hard, being in a cafe as I study and everything.
the leaves are dead and falling. My feelings slowly die. I wish for
Hey lovely people, I wanted to end the vlog video, but I just want to say thank you so much for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed, and it's crazy that it's the last day of the year. So I will see you guys when it's 2025. Hope you're having a very rest of your day and end of year, and I'll see you guys.
and all the things that we could have been. You made me smile and stay